Welcome to Hidden Truths UK. Tonight, we are heading inside one of the most terrifying buildings on Merseyside, a place steeped in tragedy, fear, and lingering shadows. This is the story of Newsham Park Hospital in Liverpool. For over a century, the huge Victorian building has stood near the edge of Newsham Park, its tall windows, endless corridors and crumbling wards hiding a dark past. Once an orphanage, later a psychiatric hospital, can now an abandoned shell, it's said to be one of the most haunted places in the Northwest. It all began in 1874 when the Liverpool Seamen's Orphan Institution opened its doors. The city was built on shipping, and when sailors were lost at sea, their children often had nowhere to go. The orphanage was meant to provide safety, discipline, and education. Inside, hundreds of boys and girls lived under strict rules, beds in endless rows, mealtimes by bell, prayers each morning. But discipline in Victorian orphanages was harsh. The staff believed in order and punishment. Whispered stories tell of children locked away in narrow cupboards for hours, tiny spaces still known today as the Naughty Boys Corridor. Visitors who've toured the abandoned site say those cupboards remain, doors warped and splintered, names scratched into the wood. By the mid-1900s, the orphanage closed and the building was taken over by the NHS. It became Newsham Park Hospital, a psychiatric facility where doctors treated both the mentally ill and the elderly. Patients often described long nights filled with screams echoing down the halls, and nurses reported lights switching on and off by themselves. When the hospital finally shut its doors in 1997, the building was left to rot. Yet the echoes of its past never left. Paranormal investigators, urban explorers, and even former staff all describe the same eerie sensations: cold spots, unseen footsteps, and a feeling of being watched. One of the most chilling tales comes from security guards who patrolled the site in the early 2000s. On several occasions, motion sensors went off in empty wards. When guards checked the CCTV, they saw what looked like a shadowy figure gliding along the corridor before disappearing through a wall. Others have heard the voices of children, laughter in the distance, or crying from the upper floors where the orphan dormitories once stood. Tour guides often stop outside the old schoolroom, where chalk still covers the blackboards, and where visitors claim to have seen a small boy peering out from behind a desk. Perhaps the most infamous spot is the nurse's station on the second floor. Many ghost hunters say this is where a heavy wheelchair seems to move on its own. It's been found blocking doorways, standing in different positions between visits, and once was caught on camera rolling gently forward with no one near it. Down in the basement, where records and supplies were once stored, explorers have reported whispering voices and sudden drops in temperature. Some refuse to go down there altogether, saying the air feels thick, as if the walls themselves remember the suffering that once filled them. There is also the legend of the matron's room, a place said to be haunted by the spirit of a stern nurse who still patrols her old wards. Visitors describe a tall female figure dressed in gray, walking the halls before fading into the dark. One visitor fainted after feeling a cold hand grip their shoulder when no one was there. Skeptics argue these are simply tricks of the mind, shadows cast by torchlight, the creak of a decaying building, or overactive imagination fueled by ghost hunt hype. Yet hundreds of independent visitors have come away describing the same sensations. Too many identical stories to be coincidence. Some say the building is haunted not by ghosts, but by the energy left behind. Generations of sadness, fear, and resentment printed into the bricks themselves. Others believe the spirits of the orphans never moved on, trapped within the only home they ever knew. Today, the building still stands, boarded up, peeling paint, ivy crawling up its walls. On some nights, lights flicker inside, even though the electricity has long been disconnected. Security staff refuse to work alone after dark. If you stand outside the gates at night, you might hear the faint rattle of a wheelchair, or the echo of small footsteps running down the corridor, followed by the soft closing of a door that no longer exists. Newsham Park Hospital is a place with a line between history and haunting blurs. It's not just the ghosts of people that linger there, but the ghosts of an era, the fear, the discipline, and the broken lives left behind. What do you think? Is Newsham Park Hospital truly haunted? Or are the stories just echoes of a dark imagination? Thanks for watching Hidden Truths UK. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which haunting or mystery you want me to explore next. Until next time, keep your eyes open, because the night always remembers.